Alright, what's up guys? So, Midwest Safety has uploaded a video titled SWAT Team Tracks Down Wanted Predator. Yeah, that's the thing. You do some crazy crime, you're gonna get caught. So I know a lot of people out there be thinking like, oh, I could do a crime, get away with it. Nah, not in this day and age. It's like unless you are, I don't know. I'm trying to think of something like I feel like yeah, it's just nowadays it don't matter who you are, what you work for, or whatever you got going on. It's like yeah, you the thing is this you gotta honestly sit down and think about it. If it be high profile people out there that be thinking they could get away with a crime and then they end up going down for something, what makes you think like you just being a random citizen, they ain't got no experience of getting away? And I ain't trying to like I guess encourage somebody out there to try to get away with a crime, but to have to go through all that extra trouble of trying to get away with a crime versus there's all these other different things you could do to avoid that crime life. I'm saying, do that, do the things as overall gonna put you in a situation where you can avoid that crime life. But anyways, now let's go ahead and check out this video. Make sure if you guys haven't, go subscribe to Midwest Safety for more videos like this. And with
on
that
August
being
1st,
said,
2024, deputies with the Frederick County Sheriff's Office in Maryland were dispatched to the Super 8 Motel in an attempt to locate 45-year-old Jack Edgar Primer of Freedom, Pennsylvania. Primer was wanted on a felony warrant out of Beaver County, Pennsylvania for child sexual assault, abuse, and possession of child pornography. Deputies located Primer's vehicle.
I hear things like that, and I'm like, man, you can't find nobody your own age. I'm saying, like, there's all these different dating apps and platforms out there where you could put yourself like in the right environment, but you would rather put yourself in the wrong environment. And then you wonder why you got stuff like this happening towards you. I'm saying, yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, lock him off up in prison because he don't know how to act. And my thing is this: he go out and do some stuff like that, and then it's like he gets away with it, and he's just gonna go ahead and just do it all over again. That's what I'm saying. It's like there's people out there where their brains ain't really wrapped all that tight. And then, yeah, then that's how they end up in these videos. Hopefully this time around, like, he's locked off up in prison. If you got a warrant and you ain't trying to, like, get that, even if it is just, like, whatever type of warrant it is, you still got to get that stuff figured out. But, yeah, he knows that he's going to go down for this stuff. So that's why I'm like, yeah, bro, they put him off up in prison. It's like, it's one of those things where he can't convince me that he made an honest mistake. It's one of those things I'm like, nah, fam, you know what you were doing. You realize what you were doing and stuff. You very well could have avoided that stuff, but instead you decide to go down the route of, oh, maybe if I'm being all secretive, even if you are being secretive, you still gonna get caught, all right? That's one thing for sure. So, but anyway.
Vehicle in the parking lot, confirmed which room he was in, and moved in for the arrest. Unknown to officers at the time, Primer was armed with a loaded gun.
Oh. I was about to say,
Sheriff's
why
office.
did they not just bust down the door?
Sheriff's
I
office,
ain't
come to the
realized
door.
What do you want?
We need to talk to you.
About what?
You know what? Open the door. Now.
Be scary.
Right
Open.
now, I got a gun.
So do we. Open the door with your hands up.
That's
now.
crazy. He's
Now.
they saying the cop drew a gun or the guy drew a gun?
Where's your crap?
I don't trust that.
He's claiming to have a 1032.
No. Open the door now. We'll figure that out.
Why is this
Come
like?
out now.
Yeah,
Open the door.
that's
Hey.
crazy.
Yeah. Come closer. Get behind over
And
there.
all that could have just been avoided
Open the
if he
door,
never
come
just
now.
did the stuff in the first place.
Get less lethal. You got your camera on?
Mr. Primer, open the door!
Now.
That would be scary. Like, cause imagine you just on like going on a road trip, you out on vacation, you staying there, then all of a sudden you hear that going down. Bruh, yeah, that's one of those things where I'm about like, well, wait a minute, time out. Let me just go ahead and leave and get up out of here because I ain't trying to be in the, I ain't even trying to be in the same area of it. So I'm like, yeah, let me hurry up and get. I know the right thing to do is to stay in the room, but I'm like, yeah, if they get to shooting and they getting all wild with it and stuff, that's why I'm like, nah, man. I'm like, let me go ahead and I don't know, take a walk or something. But anyways,
Come out with your hands up. We don't want anybody to get hurt. Mr. Primer! It's time to open the door.
Jared, you got hands.
You got your blanket, you open the door.
I'm moving over there.
he on. I like, man.
All right. switch the hands. Come out now. Come out now. You know you have a warrant. Come out now. Right now. You have a warrant. You're under arrest. Come out right now. Open the door and come out now.
With your hands up, slowly. Yeah, for now. Mr. Primer, we're not going anywhere.
I know, it's like, bro, you're caught. You're done. You can't
Let's end
teleport.
this
You're not a
peacefully.
superhero. Can't fly
Through the
up
next
out of there.
hour, officers held their position and waited for heavy armor, additional units,
Yeah.
and for SWAT teams to take over.
Get
Officers
one of
then
those,
took up
whatchamacallit, them like, dang, yeah, they call it a shield. I feel like there might be another name of it, but it's like this big like metal shield that you just hold, and then it's like, yeah, I'll just have it where there's like one cop on like both sides, where it's like walking on not on the side of me, but behind me, but it's just they're aiming off on the side and stuff. So it's like, yeah, that guy tries something. I'm like, I got that shield, and it's like bum rush him if anything's, but yeah, that's crazy, for him to be carrying on like that, and it's like, well, if you didn't do the stuff that you did, you wouldn't have to be worried about that. I'm saying, it's like, them my thing is this, cops wouldn't even have been there, but it's like, you want to do some old weird stuff, and I'm like, that's why you're in the situation that you're in.
firing positions, ensuring that Primer could not escape from his window. What happened next took everyone by surprise.
He jumped out, you gonna try to jump out the window? Oh. They shot him?
Hold on. Drop it! Drop
SpongeBob.
it!
You have gas?
Drop the gun! Drop it! Drop it!
A second angle from a hotel security camera captured a better view of what appeared to be the suspect brandishing a handgun.
This guy is crazy. Wow. Was that the sponge, or was that actual?
Drop the gun! All right, guns out in the hallway. Come out now!
This guy is crazy.
All right, we're not. Let the dust settle.
Gun in there?
Hang on.
That's right.
Yes, good job.
Doesn't even make any sense to be doing stuff like that.
I think. I don't know. Anyone else here?
What did you?
Just come on, man. I'm not dangerous.
I'm not dangerous. But meanwhile, you went and pulled your gun out and was getting ready to just get into some shootout with the police officer. They're like, yeah, now you're not dangerous. But before, yeah, it's like the way you was carrying on. Nah, you gave us that suspicion of that. Yeah, you're trying to do something.
In his room. All right, it's fine. We're not doing anything. Hey, keep your hands in the air. Hands in the air. Get your mask. Get in here. Get your mask. Hands in the air. Get in here. Get your mask.
That's crazy.
That's all right. That's all right. Don't move!
Was he?
All right, listen. He's down over there. We need to move up in hands. Okay.
Was he shot?
Who's got hands? We're moving up.
Got hands.
You guys got hands? Ready? No. Whoever's got hands. Mendez, come out. We're coming. Do not move. Don't move. We need
Moving
hands
forward.
with gloves. Hands with gloves.
I mean, they ain't showing nothing, but still, dang, that's crazy.
move. Do not move. Do not move. It's a pellet gun. Okay. All right.
It's a wow. Why would you, knowing that cops, dude, my thing is this, and that's just my question to any cops out there. Do you overall know if a suspect has a pellet gun or not? Like, let's just say, like, yeah, they are like, oh, I'm dead. Suspect tells you I'm armed, but you don't know, like, you don't know that it's a pellet gun. Are you guys gonna be like, oh, well, let's just assume that they have a pellet gun, but we just gonna bring pellet guns ourselves? No, if you tell police officers that you are armed, okay, and they're considering you a dangerous person, they're bringing guns, bro. Like, that's something where it's like, yeah, you could play that whole crying game where it's all like, oh, it's a pellet gun. Like, why did you guys like do? nah, bruh. It's one of those things you cannot play around with cops like that. You cannot. All right, there was the one story that happened years ago. There was a I can't think of that kid's name, but he had a BB gun, and the cops I think that was just the cops just wrongdoing. But still, though, it's like cops ain't playing around. All right, so if they see you got a BB gun, a pellet gun, a water gun, whatever type of gun, okay, I'm saying it could even be a little handgun. If they suspect that you have a weapon, bro, it's one of you got it where there's people out there getting shot over them thinking that they had a gun. They didn't even have a gun. I just watched a movie not too long ago where the guy, all he just had was a phone and the cops had shot him. Now I know that it was a fictional movie, but I'm pretty sure it's based off of true, like, situations and stuff. So yeah, you can't be playing around with cops like that. That's just my advice to any and everybody out there. If you get into it with the cops, leave all them weapons alone, because all that's just going to do is be bad for you at the end of the day. So
I got. Turn him around. I can't move.
doesn't even make any sense.
Start EMS.
Stairwell, please, stairwell.
We're good. Stairwell.
All right, you're good. You're good. You're good.
We need a med kit if somebody.
Oh, so he was shot.
First guy, sheriff's office. Need a room. Make yourself known. Not a tourniquet. Gonna need balls. Here's your balls right here. This is quick.
Like, hopefully he survives. So it's like, yeah, you Judge can ask you, did you think that was a smart idea? Like, honestly, because that just don't even make no sense to do that. You knew you wasn't gonna win that fight.
We need to check the other side too. Yep. What about the other side? We need to check the other side still. Does anybody have more balls? EMS is coming. I don't see any. They're coming up. Here,
Yeah, that's crazy.
in your stomach. In your stomach? He says he's hitting the stomach somewhere. I see a hole there.
Oh, there's dang. So they really did shoot him. Because they said sponge gun, and I couldn't really tell. But
That's not a hole.
dang, it was like, so that assault rifle let off all that dust.
One there, one in there.
Dang, I'm like, it's either they need to clean that place or dang.
Exit or I don't know.
I'm like, AR is A. Yeah, I mean, of course you know.
He's got something in his.
They are gonna do some damage. That's crazy though.
The handgun that Primer brandished turned out to be a Crossman SNR 357, which is designed to shoot BBs or pellets, according to a press release.
Yeah, no, those the thing is this. I remember going on Amazon because I was gonna do like comedy skits involving a weapon, but now I got to thinking, I'm like, YouTube might think that it's because no, I've seen some of the weapons that like Amazon have, and they look like real weapons. Like there's some where they was like, oh yeah, it looks just like a real gun, but it's a BB gun and stuff. So that's all like, yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, nah, bruh, you got to you gotta be extremely careful in situations like that. But yeah, that guy, he was just playing it dumb. That just don't even make no sense. Where it's like you put yourself in a situation where your life could have very well been ended. I mean, yeah, you messed your life up, with the crimes that you did, but overall, it's like, you really could have messed your life up. Like, at least then, you still got a chance to, I guess to, make things better, and overall just, not getting, do the stuff that you, did to lead yourself to that situation. But, yeah, that's just crazy. But there was, he was shot and wounded. He didn't die, but...
Put out by the Frederick County Sheriff's Office, Primer was transported to the University of Maryland Shock Trauma Unit in Baltimore by Maryland State Police helicopter, where he was stabilized and survived his wounds. According to Maryland court documents, Primer was extradited to Pennsylvania on August 27, 2024. Pennsylvania court documents reveal that Primer faces 31 felony counts of child sex abuse by photographing a sex act, 230 felony counts of child pornography, 1 count of criminal use of a communication facility, and a misdemeanor count of corruption of minors. He also faces a second case stemming from previous criminal acts allegedly committed in 2021, which involve a laundry list of felonies including 2 counts of involuntary, deviant sexual intercourse of a person less than 16 years of age, 2 counts of rape threat of forcible compulsion, 2 counts of sexual assault, aggravated indecent assault of a minor, statutory sexual assault of a child 8 to 11 years old, unlawful sexual contact with a minor, 2 counts of corruption of minors, 2 counts of rape of an unconscious victim, and 51 counts of indecent assault of a person less than 13 years of age. Primer also faces a third trial where he was charged with
third
15
case?
felony counts of child pornography and a single felony count of criminal use of a communication facility stemming from alleged crimes committed in 2017. As of March 3rd, a hearing was scheduled for April 1st, 2025 to consolidate all cases for trial. Midwest Safety independently verified that Jack Primer is currently being held at Beaver County Jail awaiting trial. He is innocent unless proven guilty in a court of law.
Nah,
There's absolutely
man.
nothing like responding to a call to apprehend a wanted felon. And of course we know that all crime is bad, but when the suspect is wanted on crimes that possibly involve children, it's especially tough for any law enforcement officer to have to deal with. And it took me years to learn how to separate my personal emotions from the calls that I responded to. And honestly, I never mastered it. However, I always knew that even though some
I don't think nobody ever could. I'm like, there's some situations, a situation like that, definitely, I think it's best, you know, if cops that's more fit to handle that situation, I'm like, you guys respond to that, because I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna act, you know. So it's one of those things where cases like that, anything that involves parents, I'm like, you know, just any family member and stuff, it's one of those things where I'm like, nah, bro, if it's something funny, like I remember there was the one story where the brother had threw some chicken at his sister. That's I'm like, I might, you know, let out a couple of chuckles. But situations like this, I'm like, well, that's I would try my best to. That's not a good example. I just realized that. But it's something where I'm like, but jokes aside, I'm like, stuff like this, I don't think nobody can really master it. You know, it's like, I think everybody is going to be more personal than professional throughout their whole life with whatever it is that they want to get into and stuff. So, but I mean, there are people out there where they can master it and they could be more professional in, you know, situations where it can hit home for you and stuff. But anyways,
made me extremely angry. Losing my composure wouldn't be a smart decision. So today, guys, we get a view of the Frederick County Sheriff's Office arriving at a motel, and they're trying to apprehend a white male, Jack Primer, who's wanted on a felony warrant for some very disturbing things. And this is why these calls have to be conducted with planning and strategy. And the deputies likely gathered all the intel on this guy, they confirmed that he's there, and now they have to execute. And as the deputies knock a few times, a male does acknowledge them and asks from behind a closed door, "What do you want?" And we do see that there's multiple deputies in the hallway on either side of the door, which is smart because you never want to stand right in front of the door, because many times these people are armed. After realizing that he's not coming out peacefully, the deputies along with the Frederick City Police evacuate the area because this is now a barricaded wanted felon. So they cover all of the exits.
That's why, and it's like, you get to thinking about it, it's like, that's why he was doing what he was doing, because he knew he wasn't going to, he knew that either way, his life is going to be messed up. If he goes, because that is like an actual thing where there's all like suicide by cop. And that's when they just are like, oh, I just don't, you know, just careless and stuff. But I'm like, fam, that's not the time to be careless, all right? You were already being careless. But I'm like, the thing is this, you facing your consequences, that's something that you just gonna have to do. I'm like, you put yourself in that situation, you very well, you just, and you're gonna have to live with that situation. So
making sure that he can't escape. And then gunshots are heard from the suspect's room. So the deputies use the 40mm sponge round. And as the suspect leaves his room briefly with a gun in his left hand, the deputies are forced to fire their weapons. And after a wounded suspect throws his gun down, which we learn was
they did shoot. So that's okay. That's why there was like that dust or whatever that was going around. Because I was about to say, I thought that was the assault rifle. I wasn't even paying attention. It was like I was more so looking at the guy. But okay, so now you get like a replay of the situation. Okay, now
he lays down in the hallway, and the deputies use a tactical approach and cuff him up. And this is why police have to remain in control of their emotions, because now they have to provide first aid. Now, in the end, guys, none of us are judge, jury, or executioner. And when I hear people committing crimes like this, I do get angry. I'm human, because I have 3 children myself. And yes, they may be adults now, but they were children once, and they have children of their own. But do remember,
like, I'm not even a father, but even something like that, I'm like, I already know how I would try my hardest to be professional, but it's one of those, I wouldn't. I think it's one of those things where it's all like, you know, somebody would have asked me, do I have any sympathy for the guy when he was crying? I like, no, I didn't. He didn't have no sympathy for them kids that he put all that he like went and dumped all that trauma on them. So why should I have sympathy for him? So that's why I'm like, it's probably best I'm not no cop, because I would say how I really feel instead of trying to be all professional. I mean, you know, be professional on the job, But me, I'm not a professional person, so.
The Fifth Amendment of the United States Constitution guarantees citizens that no one shall be deprived of life, property, or liberty without following the due process of the law. And what is due process? It's a fundamental principle of fairness in all legal matters, both civil and criminal, especially in the courts. And even though it might be difficult, we have to trust due process and not take the law into our own hands. Because if we do, we're no different than the criminals.
Yeah, I'm like, that was crazy, man. I'm like, I don't know why that guy, it's like, it's one of those things where it really trips me out. Like a person, they, yeah, I mean, I get it. He's up there in age, but still, it's like you got your whole life ahead of you. You could do whatever it is that you want to do, like if it's not against the law and stuff. But yeah, you just got people out there where it's like they hear of these stories and they still go through with whatever crime that it is. And that's why I'm like, yeah, that's why you're going to find yourself facing life in prison. If not that, multiple life sentences in prison. So, but anyways, yeah, that video was pretty intense. That was pretty crazy. So, but I think it was more intense, like seeing all the different stuff that he was being charged with. But anyways, make sure if you guys haven't, go subscribe to Midwest Safety for more videos like this. Like, subscribe to me too, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.